So today's video is going to be how to revise languages A-level and GCSE, because the tips are the same basically. I've been wanting to do languages for a long time. Well, I didn't think I did at first, but I actually realised I actually wanted to do that, so that's why I'm doing this video. So the angle's a bit different. I got something new for my laptop to keep it much cooler because it was overheating a bit. I've recently got my laptop back and it fixed. May do an update video, but this is just me explaining bits if I don't. So this is sort of aimed at French, but really the tips do kind of apply to any language. So the first thing you need to do is you won't get anywhere if you don't learn your vocab. So vocab is just the most important because you need to know your vocab. I know it's boring, but it can be fun to sort of learn it in, like, use Quizlet. I use for me, Ping Me to learn French, which you might have seen in the vlogs because I'm daily vlogging. I will show you. Is Fun French Study Cat. You probably can't see it. I will probably just demonstrate a really quick game. So, rose, noir, rose, rose, bleu, noir, 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 bleu, bleu. I'll show you. Jaune,
rouge, violet, marron, rouge, violet, marron, marron, violet, violet.
So that's just very quickly. Door, I heard. Door. So that's just a quick view. And I don't think there is a set list of vocab. There was old spec, but not new spec. Get vocab from the textbook, from reading comprehensions, from music, from films. If you don't know a word, look it up in the dictionary and on Google. Use Google Translate if you need to. In the textbook, at the end of each topic, there will be useful vocab. Hopefully that would make the most sense if they did do that. Pretty sure they do. And make sure you learn it from French to English and English to French. This is aimed at French because that's the language I did in Year 7 and I'm picking back up. I have a document of useful French. So I do work on that as much as I can in between everything else. If you don't know a word, just Google it and write it down. Make sure you try and do your vocab from English to French and French to English. Learn it from French to English first and then English to French. Vocab is important in speaking, listening, reading and writing. Make sure you keep all your topic vocab fresh and any extra vocab. If you see a word, just write it down even though it's an obvious word, because the chances are if you don't write it down, you probably will not learn it. Grammar, I know this can be hard. I find grammar hard in English, but I did not take French for GCSE, so I've had to sort of look up tips on that. Make sure your grammar is up to speed. This is important at A-level and GCSE new spec than it was at the old spec. Get grammar workbooks, do practice questions, watch YouTube videos, just have a nose around, see what you can find, do grammar worksheets, practice grammar, put posters up, but be careful people with posters. Make sure that when you do posters, if you come across it, make an active effort to learn it. Don't just walk past it, even if it's like 1 AM to go to the loo. Just learn it. Just have a look, see what you can find for grammar. Make sure you focus on your weak points rather than practicing like strong. So if you know your French verbs really well, then don't practice them, because if you do, otherwise you're just wasting your time. So just make sure you practice your weak points. Have a look at the specifications, see what you need to recognise, what you need to know, what you need to apply, what you need to be able to do. A new thing with GCSE and A level is translations. Just practice doing translations. You can get them off Soundboard's websites. You can you can use the old spec if you run out for the new spec. Do them from the textbook if you're stuck, but they will be much harder. Warning you now, people, it will be much harder, because everyone finds it much harder doing it from the textbook than they do. Like, it will be in the proper exam. If you learn your vocab and grammar, translations will be much easier. Speaking, we're on to, is literally speaking. Just get a pen pal and practice. Grammar as well, they're a lot more lenient on the speaking than they are on the writing, but not so much. So what you can do is just practice speaking to yourself, practice speaking to your teddy, get a pen pal, just have conversations, and just make sure you know your topics and make sure it sounds natural. Don't learn loads of set phrases, because then it just doesn't sound natural. They don't care about you regurgitating facts, they just want to know you've got a good understanding of the topic. So just know your topics and your key vocab and just practice. Listen to French music, watch French TV. In A level you do an essay on a film and a book, and just engage with it, because it is the best bit about learning languages, is just engaging with the language, because that will be what makes things better for you, is just to engage with the language, because that is the most fun bit. Like, I like engaging with the French language. Learn some French facts, research on France, just engage with the language, because then when your language skills grow, you can really immerse with it. That is the best bit about languages, is just immersing with the language. So I hope this video made some sense.